Welcome back. In the previous video, we discussed about user administration. Now I connected to the AWS machine and let's practice how to create, delete, modify the user accounts. Now I connected to the Ubuntu machine. Always remember, as I said, in Ubuntu, please use add user command, and if it is Red Hat Linux and CentOS or Amazon Linux, please go with the user add command. And as I said, a normal user cannot able to create another user account. So you should be a root user to create a user accounts. So now I'm in normal user account. I'll just try to execute command add user user1. So it says only root may add a user or a group to the system. So normal user cannot able to create. So let me switch to the root. So connected as a root. Now let me try to create. So before executing add user, let me execute user add command and username. I'm just giving user1. See, user has been created. But as I said, in Ubuntu, if you use user add command, it will not create the things which it needs to be created. So for example, if I go to /home and if I see here, I don't see any user1 home directory has been created here. By default, it was not created. So without home directory, a user cannot able to log in to the Linux machine. So that's why we don't prefer user add command inside the Ubuntu. So we should use add user command inside the Ubuntu. Now let me use add user2. Then it is asking to provide the password and I'm just giving a password. You can give any password and retype the password, and it is asking some details. What is the full name of the user? I'm just giving just normal values and hit enter. Yes, this information is correct. Done. So now this add user command created user2 successfully, and already I'm inside the /home directory. If I go and see with the ls command, I can see user2 directory. So this is by default. Whenever we create a number of user accounts, all those user accounts will get created inside this /home. And now we go back and see whether this has been updated inside the etc password file. So as I said, so whenever we create a user account, backend these things will be get created. So UID, it will assign a UID to a user, and GID and home directory we already verified. Now let's go and verify each and everything whether it has been created and assigned or not. So first I'll go and check in the etc password file whether the user entry has been added or not. So now I came back to the shell and here I'll clear the screen. Cat etc password file. I'm using the cat command, and here if you see, the user2 has been created, and this is the UID and this is the group ID has been created, and this is the user's personal information which we provided during the creation of the user. So in real world, you need to just give his full name, or his phone numbers are not mandatory. Just we need to provide the name and the designation and like which team he belongs to. That information we need to provide. And this is the home directory location of this user. So whatever the username with the same name, the directory will get created inside the /home, and this is the shell. So as we discussed, UID has been created. If you see 1002, and this is, if you see, 1001 has been created for the user1. So now if you see, these are some system UIDs, sorry, system user accounts. So you can see the UID, and by default Ubuntu, the user account which is provided by this image is already allocated with the 1000, and previously if you see 998. So these are like system users which is having reserved UIDs. So now So we verified UID, GID, home directory, and we verified in the password. Now let's go and see the etc group. Clear the screen. Cat etc group. So as I said, this is a group. So when we create a user account, by default group also gets created. So this is a group name and this is a group ID which has been created. In the coming sessions, we will discuss what is the purpose of this group. Now, after this, we need to check another file called etc shadow. Okay. If you see this etc shadow, user's password will be stored. So whatever the password we are assigning to a user, that password will be encrypted and will be visible inside this etc shadow. So not only the encrypted password, so this file also contains password policies like the password when it is going to be expired, or we can set specific date it should expire this password so that user can able to log in only for 30 days or 60 days, and after that he should reset his password. This kind of policies will be available inside the etc shadow. And we already discussed shell. So by default it's assigned a bin bash shell. So now let's go to this etc shadow file, cat etc shadow, and here if you see user 2, and when I created user 1, it did not ask me to provide password, so I did not assign password, and that's why I don't see anything here the value. And if you see here, this is an encrypted password of this user 2. Okay, and this is the password policies. So this is how we can able to create user accounts. And sometimes let's say user 2 came back to us and asked us, he forgot his password and he couldn't able to log in. Then we can reset his password with the password command. So we can just use PASSWD and user 2, and even we don't know his password, so it will not ask for the old password. We can just give the new password and just give new password. That's it. And this password again we can provide it to the user. So this is how we can create a user account, and we can verify whether everything has been created successfully or not. So this is how we can able to create a user account successfully, and we can able to check all the relevant things are created or not. Bye for now. Meet in the next video. Thank you.